Haha. All right, we're live.
Ah,
Oh, wait, I don't have a run sheet in front of me. It's a
I thought you said beforehand, F it, we'll do it live.
yes, and we still will.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Set.
Go.
Welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are bringing you Transformers news from around the world because nothing much happens in Australia, except this week we have some Australian news. This is episode 191. We are recording live Friday, the 7th of June, 2019, and I've just realized that I should probably check that my computer is using the right microphone before going on, and it is. In this episode, we will be talking about some new Fans Toys renders, the return of an old favorite or an old not so favorite for Australia, some new Siege news and some new Siege figures, and a kind of creative look at some of them. And finally, it's Masterpiece Hounds time in the spotlight. All that and more coming up after this. There we go. All right. Great. All right. Thanks for joining us. I am Jason. Joining me this week, we have Brad. Brad, groovy guy, coming to us live from Perth. How's the delay? Can you hear me echo over there?
I can hear you fine. And are you sure that I'm Groovy Guy and not Ned Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have you got a bucket to put on your head?
Either Ned Kelly or Senator Evans from Rob Stitch's. I'm doing quite well, and yes, the delay is amazing because it's delayed to you, but I'm speaking future time, I think. I don't know. It's very weird.
It works the other way. I'm in the future, you're in the past.
Yeah.
Although given the election result, I might be in the past as well.
Yep, there you go.
Also, given the election result, we all just might be fucked in the future. So yeah.
Everyone's going to say that one way or another.
It's true. Yes, look, it's been a few weeks since I've been on. I am now older and wiser, which is it's actually true because I am now a grand old age of 42, which means I do know everything.
No, everything equals to you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, all roads lead to Jason. I'm basically Rome.
Well, that's very depressing, and I'm never going to drive my car ever again.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I also can't drive, so if all roads lead to me, I'm actually in quite a lot of trouble.
Oh, well, they probably do lead to you then because you're waiting for a lift.
Yes, true. No, we don't have Lyft in Australia. It's either Uber, Bolt, Taxify, Ola, or any of the other fucking rideshare things.
Yeah.
You know what I have forgotten to actually forgotten to put up on the screen?
Get a drink?
No, I do need to get a drink. What I have actually forgotten to put up on the good old screen share this week is the this week's Bot Shots winner.
Oh, yeah, that would have been important.
Let's go to the website and find it. And it has actually been a couple of weeks since we're on, so I don't know if this is the right image, but I will just say congratulations, Kyle Kirkwood, whose image I may or may not be showing. Who is that running away from Devastator?
I think that's Agent Simmons.
Or is it John Cena's character?
No, yeah, that's meant to be a scrotum shot, I think.
Oh,
yeah, I think.
Right. Yes, he is. He is in fact directly beneath it.
Oh yes.
Yes. Bot Shots is, of course, the photography competition that we run weekly in the Facebook discussion group of Transformers Collectors Club Australia. You are invited to take your bots out from behind their glass-doored cabinets and protective boxes, take them out into the real world, and arrange a funny photo for us. Having just moved house, all of my Transformers are in boxes and unable to be posed.
So, you can pose them as you take them out of the box and put them on the shelf.
I can, and I have been doing some of that this week, but we'll see how we go. Let's move on to some news, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Big news because a certain military Autobot broke cover this week in a Masterpiece rendition. We are, of course, talking about Masterpiece Hound. His official designation is MP47, and he is coming in December, I believe, for the princely sum of about $240. He's a little bit more expensive than most of the other Masterpiece figures, but he is a little bit different, and he might also be a one and done. Like, I don't know if they can actually repaint this into someone else without it being a bit of a stretch. He is, as you might expect from a Masterpiece figure, quite exquisitely detailed and molded, and he's quite poseable as well. He's got a nice bit of cartoon accuracy. You can see, I'm just flicking through a couple of the photos on TFW. Here's some of the official photos. There's at least 2 face designs on offer. There's one with his mouth open. You can see how his in this shot, you can see how his head is awkwardly attached by a hinge on the back of his bonnet. But try not to look at it too much, because like the rest of him does look pretty freaking awesome. He's got some nice cartoon-like proportions to him, and yeah,
he's got the key accessory.
Oh, he does too. Look at that. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah. He actually has a lot of accessories. There is also a for apparently no really good reason. The canvas covering, which apparently also doubles as a shield.
Mm.
I don't think it's going to be very effective, but we'll see.
No, it might protect him from a harsh breeze. But other than that,
yes. And we are, of course, then also looking at his vehicle mode now, which is. That vehicle mode looks really good, actually. I'm really quite happy with that. I believe it's officially licensed from Jeep, so they'd want to be doing a good job of it. And there's with the canvas back on as well.
Yeah, looks pretty good. The vehicle modes look like something from MASH.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it was always going to do that with Hound, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's good to see that Hound's getting released. A lot of people have been saying he's long overdue for a Masterpiece debut.
So his debut was last year in prototype form, which we don't usually see with Masterpiece figures, and that was what gave us a bit of pause as to whether or not we were looking at a real figure at the time. It turns out we are, and because this kitchen bench top is unmistakably Takara Tomi's, and yeah, no, it's looking really good. So there's the complete.
Oh wow, he's got a hologram projection.
He sure does. He's got a hologram projection from his shoulder cannon. He's also got a hologram projected driver. There's a couple of accessories. There's the key. There's the mirror. 2 faces. Gas can. The fabric top, and the mirrors apparently count as an accessory, as does the spare tire, and also Spike, who I may have been referring to when I said spare tire. But yeah.
Well, the actual spare tire looks like that might transform or fold away or something.
It does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I saw a close-up of Hound's face, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, it doesn't look cartoon accurate, but these shots here, maybe they've changed the face since I saw those pictures.
And so is your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, he looks pretty good. I mean, look, he's definitely sort of he's quite poseable. He can bend down on one knee to talk to the pesky humans. All of this cool stuff. Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Oh wow. They got the reenactment shots in as well.
So what are your thoughts on the price of this guy?
200. That's Australian dollars, isn't it?
Well, so Toybot Imports has him listed at $230. Other places are saying he's about $240. It's causing quite a bit of teeth gnashing, but I feel like these people are probably just likely going to turn around and order it eventually anyway. I'm certainly ready to order. I don't mind the fact that he's $240.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these prices are starting to sort of sound a bit exclusive, as in, if you collect Masterpiece, you're not going to be able to afford to collect anything else. But I think, if people want it, they will buy it.
I think so. I think I like the Australian dollar is not what it once was. The world's horrible. The world's oil market is not what it once was. Oil makes plastic. Plastic makes masterpieces. Like, prices are going to go up, and I think if there's a bit of a problem there, then you might need to collect something else. I don't know. I've also realized that I forgot to turn on the screen share while we've been going through these photos.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
you've got the sniffles. You've got
Look,
them.
I am sick. I've actually had 2 days off work this week, and I'm not exactly that well. You can probably tell from the sound of my voice. So if I do mess up a little bit, please bear with me. I've already killed the hangout that we usually record in once, so we are quite late tonight. But
And
here we go.
you were saying before, you can't really think of much to do with the mold. Maybe Swindle? It's not a Bruticus masterpiece, but maybe a repaint into Swindle. Or wasn't there a another character that was a Jeep? Or is that just Desert Camo Hound?
There is another one,
Hmm.
but it's pretty obscure. So I don't know how well they'd do if they did that.
No, the Brawn, but that would be too big for Brawn.
Nah, they wouldn't do that for Masterpiece. Like you can't have a character be off model in the Masterpiece line.
True.
Like they won't make Hound into Swindle because that's not what Swindle looks like.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Anyway, so Hound. So there's a couple of other things that have been going on. So this is not the first time someone's done Hound, right?
Mm-hmm.
This figure was this little chart here was created by Ben Seamer in the TCCA discussion group. He's put this together to get a bit of a look at the difference between these figures and see which one carries that cartoon aesthetic better. And I would say, look, I think obviously it's the Takara Tomy one, but Fans Toys came like perilously close with their Willis a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And you would think that if Takara Tomy had taken inspiration from anyone, it's probably Fans Toys on that. But they're both working off the same source now. They're both it's very obvious that Takara's going for cartoon accuracy, so it gives Fans Toys a bit of a leg up if they want to do this figure early. There are a lot of similarities between them, although they sort of missed out on the yellow highlights on the cuffs of the arms. And of course, they don't have the Autobot logo on the Jeep. Also, I think in terms of nipples and chest design, Masterpiece Hound has got small nips, and Fans Toys Willie's got them right out there.
Oh yeah. Also, wasn't there? I know this is going way back in the Wayback Machine, but wasn't there also an Alternators Hound? Was it Alternators?
There certainly is. That doesn't necessarily count as a masterpiece these days, although the original intention of the line was to complement MP1. And I still pull out that. I still pull out the Binaltech Hound occasionally. I quite like him still, but sort of once you get beyond the head and the chest design, it's really a bit of a shit show in terms of cartoon accuracy. It's just really
once as soon as you've seen this masterpiece one, you're like, that is more Hound than
absolutely
Hound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alternator's Hound is very much a product of his time. It's
he came out
like a 10 to 15-year-old toy.
Wasn't it like late 90s? I remember seeing him in like
pretty sure it was like 2001, 2003.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, look, I think it's good to get a bit of a perspective of what's what. I don't think Hound has a difficult head for either of these guys to nail. I think having seen the way that Takara handles head sculpts lately, though, like Takara Tomy's Hound head sculpt is superior to the others, but the others got close.
Or as this one's called, Takara Tommy Hound.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to point that out. The other thing I would point out still is that I do like. So I own and I like Make Toys Gundog. I've got the lighter sort of the lighter green version instead of the dark green one, and I think the lighter green loans him a better sort of more cartoony look. But you can definitely see sort of the differences where they've sort of gone off model on him, like some of the arm designs, they've sort of missed the yellow highlights. His feet are quite bulky. They haven't sort of figured out how to hide the wheel on his leg like Takara has. And the engine block is quite different as well. But a lot of that can come down to the artistic interpretation of the person who actually designed the figure, putting their own stamp on the design.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
You
a,
know,
it's a it's a Jeep designed by someone who's never sat in a Jeep, who's trying not to make it look like the real Jeep enough that they don't get sued.
yeah, exactly. And I think in all those regards, they've done very, very well. I'm just worried that if we keep getting more hounds, it might turn into like 50 Shades of Green.
I think this is the end of the hounds for the third parties because look at that, everyone's trying to sell their
Everyone's trying to make some
everyone's
money.
trying to sell their Willises now because they know what's coming.
What you talking about?
We're talking about 200 and something dollars US.
Yeah.
Now, it is also important to notice that if you are a hound fan, this is not the only hound that is doing the rounds. Iron Factory also has a little hound who
The big
definitely,
head.
yeah, big cartoon head. Their hound is also impressing people this week. He's got a bit of a Cybertronian alt mode, but still very, very articulated. Iron Factory is doing their typical good work. The robot mode gets a little bit more love than the vehicle mode, but he's, as you can see, he can definitely pull off all the poses and stuff that he needs to. It's pretty great.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. These Iron Factory ones, these are like little deluxe scale guys, aren't they? Like they're all.
They're close. They're between a legend scale and a deluxe scale. They're not deluxe
Yeah.
size.
Yeah, I've seen video reviews on them, and they've done some really. I don't think I've seen anyone say anything like overly bad about the quality of these toys or the playability of them. They always
Mm.
look good. I mean, obviously, again, artistic license. You can't get a screen accurate without getting into trouble. But these guys look really great.
Look, Iron Factory has a particular look to their
Yeah.
stuff. They've got a particular feel to their plastic quality, and if you're into Iron Factory, you're totally on board with this, and you've probably already pre-ordered it anyway. But if you're not really there yet, and you might be sort of collecting a few of the smaller scale guys, you could probably do worse than adding this guy to your collection. Like I've decided not to sort of go on all in on Iron Factory figures, but if I did, I'd be really looking forward to this.
Yeah, he looks pretty awesome, and yeah, like you said, he does have the. If you've seen the other toys in this line, you'll definitely notice the sort of similar aesthetic.
That's right.
Hmm.
Now, that is probably enough hound for now. Now we're going to talk about the comeback kid.
Okay, here we go.
Just briefly.
Yeah,
Look who's coming back to Australia.
that girl.
Yes, yeah. She has been to Australia before and is coming back. Toys R Us is making a comeback in Australia. And we say making a comeback. It is not the same company. This is the website. This is toysrus.com.au. Says that they're revealing their stuff in 4 days and 10 hours, which would be sort of midway through next week. And there is a decent number of announcements and FAQs on the website. So the domain has been taken over and it's run by their new company, which is not a subsidiary, but it's being run by Hobby Warehouse, which is a toy distributor in Melbourne, in Dandenong. And they've licensed the Toys R Us and Babies R Us brand from True Kids in the USA, which runs Toys R Us. Now,
The ground. No, maybe not.
Yes, well. So basically what's going to happen is that they're going to relaunch Toys R Us as an online retailer in a week or so's time. And they're going to look to expand into physical store locations sometime in 2020. But we'll see how that goes. I actually fired them over a couple of questions, just sort of trying to get a feel for their intentions as far as the Transformers market goes. They haven't actually answered my questions yet, although they did actually acknowledge them and say they will get back to me. So maybe by next time, by next week's podcast, we might have a bit more of an idea of their intentions. And the website will be up, and we can see what Transformers they've got in stock. So we'll see how they go. They do specifically call out Hasbro as one of the brands that they will be stocking products from.
Okay, yeah, it will be interesting to see them come back, especially since I don't know about the eastern states, but in WA, a lot of, I think all of the Toys R Us stores are now being replaced with Toy Mate. So when they
Well,
come back,
it's not a straight up replacement. Like Toys R Us
yeah,
leases have expired, and it makes sense for Toymate to move into them, but I don't think they can really afford to move into all of them.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they, if, oh, when they go back to brick and mortar, if they're going to be like standalone stores or if they're just going to be like in shopping mall sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
I think they can't follow the same tactics that the
Yeah.
old Toys R Us had, which was the big standalone stores out in the middle of nowhere, because obviously that tactic didn't work for them.
That's a
Like
very good point.
why would you do the same thing as the company that just died?
Uh.
So, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
the details are at toysrus.com.au in 4 hours and 4 days and 10 hours. What's that going to be? It's going to be what 8 a.m. or so on or 7 a.m. in fact or something.
Wednesday?
No, yeah, no, it'll be about 7 a.m. Wednesday morning
Yeah.
or Tuesday. We'll see.
Wake up Wednesday to Toys R Us coming back. That sounds like a win-win.
Maybe.
Hmm.
We'll see how they go. We'll see what their prices are like, and we'll see what exclusives they offer.
Yeah, the
But
prices will be interesting.
so important to know if you didn't use Toys R Us gift cards during the liquidation of the old Toys R Us company, you won't be able to use them with the new one. They won't accept them. They're a different company. They have unfortunately no legal responsibility to take your gift cards, even though they carry the same branding name.
You might be able to sell them as like a little memorabilia, like in a few years, but yeah, they're not legal tender.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you got rid of your gift cards when Toys R Us went down the first time.
didn't buy gift cards.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We're going to take a quick look at the
Yay!
the War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Refractor, who is of course Reflector by any other name. He is one of these figures that you're going to want to collect 3 of because you can use them to form a giant big camera. We are getting official photographs of him now. There is a sort of there's a weird gun mode or spaceship mode or something for each of the individual figures, and
Yeah.
that's how
Wow.
big the individual figures are against one of the biggest deluxes around. That's Ironhide there. So, but he is a deluxe figure, so that's the size you'll get in the box. I think he's a deluxe. I don't know. But yeah, you're going to want to buy 3 of them because they all form one big happy camera.
Yay! I'm looking forward to this because I've got G1 reflector. I've got the perfect defect little mini guys, which have been awesome for like a decade.
Scouting Force, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. But I'm looking for because I do have another official reflector. It's that little one that came with the Insecticons a few years ago.
Yes, yeah, nice. I think I've been looking for that one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it'll be nice to actually have decent sized reflector, and he just looks awesome. And it's really nice that they've sort of like people that are casual fans don't understand reflector. They can get the one and say they got him, but whereas G1 fans they're able to get 3 and combine him into camera mode. That's just it's just all kinds of awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that I thought has been pretty cool is that there is a guy on Twitter who's already got his hands on some of these figures, and he's been taking fantastic photos of them. His Twitter alias is Play with Photos, and it's been really good. Like he's made some really expressive ones. You were mentioning the little version of Reflector that came with the Insecticon, and that is in fact in this photograph here.
Yeah, there he is.
So you know what they say. You know what they say about playing with yourself. So there's one of the refractors using Reflector to take a photograph of refractor,
and another refractor is getting the light.
Yeah, he's setting up the light for the shot. There's this one that shows the dangers of going online, and I believe that is one of the. I'm not sure. I thought that was one of the BotBots laptops, but now I'm not so sure because there's screws.
It looks like a little suitcase or something.
Possibly. And Another one showing two of the refractors holding the other in gun mode. These should be the actual stock photos. Now,
Is that the Charlie's Angels thing that they're trying to do there?
it almost is. The premise for this photo was that people. So the original reflector design only has the round piece in the chest of one of them. That's how you can tell the main figure.
Yep.
But the round piece comes with each of them, and so the question is, what do you do with the round piece on the ones that are not your main main reflector figure? And this answers that question quite nicely. You attach them to their ass.
Yeah.
Not only does it answer the question, but they're clearly modeling them all as well.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that you can actually establish one proper reflector and have a difference between him and the clones. If you're going to put them on the arse, that's entirely up to you.
Indeed. It's definitely your choice. So let's move on. Some other news has come out this week. Some Fans Toys has released some renders of some upcoming photographs as they are upcoming figures, as they often do. Now, we do often criticize Fan Toys for revealing much and then releasing little, and it's like we've got no idea how long it's going to take for these figures to come out, but they do look quite good. We are looking at a masterpiece scale Warpath here, who under Fans Toys' parlance is named FT41 Sheridan.
Okay.
I really do quite like what they've done with the look, but he looks a little bit too sort of human-like for me. But they've definitely nailed the alt mode. Like, he looks like a blown up version of the G1 toy.
Yeah, he does look quite amazing. But again, these are still CGI renders, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if they, if when they're realized, if they still maintain this look. But I think the final one will probably be a lot less shiny, like a bit duller in the red.
Maybe it depends on the light you put him under.
Yeah. True.
So you can also see another figure creeping in there, which is the Fans Toys version of Braun, and that's how you can tell it's a render, because they've just placed him next to him there.
Yeah.
So there's a Fans Toys version of Braun coming. There's already a few third-party Brauns, so they're quite late to the party. But as you might expect from a Fans Toys product, he does look pretty great. Unsure whether he comes with fire effects, but I suspect not. This is just a bit of a visual reenactment. But he does come with a few add-ons, and it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm happy with my Titans Returns, but obviously, not the same scale or anything of the sort. That actually does look like a real.
It does. I honestly don't know if we're looking at photos or renders anymore, because I've seen so many renders these days that look so realistic. But yeah, that really does look like a photo. Maybe we are looking at photos. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe they really are this shiny.
The vehicle mode, it looks like they've got eyes in the headlights. Reminds me of that. I don't know if you ever saw that really weird kid show called Brum.
But there's enough shows that like reference that kind of thing anyway. But yeah, no, I agree. It does look like it. So this is the kind of photo that you would send to that Twitter account called Pictures of Faces and Things.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fans Toys is doing a Braun, and they are also doing another aerial bot. So this is their version of G1 Skydive, who looks like an aerial bot. Surprise!
There's not really anything you can do with an aerial bot and have anyone say that is the definitive. Which one was this? Skydive?
Yeah.
And
I have actually found this with a lot of the more recent third-party combiners, is that their figures, the bodies and stuff, they just look really generic.
Well, yeah, but like you said before, they sort of have to look generic so they can all look similar.
They have to look generic so they can all look the same.
Yeah, and they can all be built from the same stuff.
Yeah.
I do like that alt mode though. That looks pretty sleek and sexy.
Yeah, Skydive had a pretty distinctly cool alt mode out of the G1 aerial bots. So yeah, fair enough. He is not a happy boy. Look at that face.
Yeah,
I think Stern sums him up.
and
I
yeah,
think he
that would.
agrees. Look at that. So yeah,
Yeah, he's looking at you saying, "Yes, Jason, I agree." Stern,
yes,
yes,
yes, indeed.
shallow and pedantic.
I would I would expect this guy to come out first out of the figures that we've seen because they do need to complete their Superion.
Yeah,
But I don't know that we actually have release dates or prices for all these guys yet, as you might expect.
yeah, they're probably still trying to manufacture like a real world toy of this, unless I know. Actually, no, this would be real world, wouldn't it? This wouldn't be a
Who
render.
knows? It could be a prototype. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
One other figure that we have seen a couple of companies take a run at lately is Autobot X, and here's the latest shit show that is Autobot X.
Hurrah! Finally, I can put an Autobot X on my classic shelf.
This is from Blue Lobster BL01, and I do not know why you would buy this, but maybe you need it for completeness sake.
Oh, I don't know, but I mean, I hope one of the features is that the headlight lights up.
Look, at least if one headlight lights up, that would be nice. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, but his legs. Oh no, he's got this sort of. Yeah, that's a nice looking. Um,
he looks constantly tired.
well, he wasn't exactly a up and goer in the cartoon.
It's true. Like the face design looks just sort of like, guys, I've just gotten here. What's going on?
He's like, guys, just wake up. Did you do anything to my robot mode?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I could transform.
Why is my robot mode so short?
But I'd wait to see scale pictures of him. I don't know if they've announced what scale they're going for.
I don't know either. I kind of don't care. Like this is not something that needed a toy, but like it's weird the amount of interest that this has generated. So it's in fine.
I've been, kind of curious for an Autobot X, but I don't know if I'm be willing to pay third party prices for it, depending on the price for it.
$50.
Flat. 50
Done.
bucks.
$50. Sold.
Done. Yep. Just $50.
$50 in his legend scale.
Ah.
All right, let's move on. Last story of the night is a bad news story. If you ordered the Ghostbusters crossover Ectotron from EB Games instead of from a reputable online overseas retailer, we're sorry. But EB Games has decided to randomly delay your order from today or this week when it was due to be delivered. On the day that it was due to be released, it got delayed to September.
Yeah, did they give a reason?
Their supplier changed the date.
Okay, well,
look. There's not much EB can do about it.
no.
But like they're told a date by their supplier, and if the date changes, then it's their responsibility to tell people about it. And I found this out by going into a store last weekend and asking about this and asking about the figure, and I got told that it had been pushed back to September. Someone else told me during the week that was for the second round of pre-orders, and that the first round would go out this week. But it turns out the first round did not go out. So, sorry guys, but look, come September, you'll have a reasonably priced Ectotron because looking at the price for this in Australia, 80 Australian dollars. You're hard pressed to find them for less than 80 or 90 US dollars online at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of online sources might be driving up their price just for the Australian market.
Probably not. I think they've come out and I think it's been a fairly popular figure. So it's sold out. It's sold well.
Okay.
But I do recall that there was quite a few happy looks around about the price for this figure in Australia. Bear in mind, it's a like a Voyager scale Combiner Wars figure retooled, so $80 is a lot for it, but they got to pay for that license somehow, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this just looks amazing. Anyone that knows me knows that my dream car is actually the Ecto One, and to have it as a transformer as well, it's just win, 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 win.
Are you just chomping at the bit, waiting for those comics to come through?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look fun. We've still not seen an official announcement of the Ghostbusters MP10 or Masterpiece Prime, but surely that's coming in the next few weeks. We'll see how we go.
What, the figure or news of it being delayed till September?
The figure,
Okay.
yeah, hasn't been officially announced. Can be released in September. We'll see how we go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. That is it for news this week. We are quickly going to go through some new acquisitions,
Mhm.
and I think we might start with your acquisitions, Brad.
Okay, no worries. I have gotten a few bits and bobs during my last month I was on, I think.
Yeah, it's been about a month. I feel like we've slipped off the radar a little bit and missed a couple of weeks of shows. So
Well,
the last time you were on, I think is probably the last time we did the show. We'll see.
well, I mean, to be fair, it has been a bit of a dry news patch lately.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a few new figures. I've gotten Siege Starscream.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
Very, very happy to have him. I picked him up because last time I was actually on the show, we had, confirmation that we'll be getting Skywarp and Thundercracker. So I thought I better get Starscream because I'm trying to sell my Henkei ones now because they're so tiny.
I can't sell the classics. I love them.
Yeah, fair enough.
In fact, I've procured the last two of the 31 molds that it's ever been used for. They
Oh,
will be arriving in a couple of weeks' time.
nice. I managed to track down a Shockwave from a brick and mortar store. I didn't get it from Amazon, even though the price that you sent me was very tempting. Um,
Very nice.
Still got it for cheap. He is very similar to Titans Returns Six Shot in the sense that he can't have a gun mode. He has an upside down vehicle mode,
Mhm.
which when you flip it upside down, I mean that's pretty much Shockwave. You can't
Totally.
actually. There are fan modes that give him a more, like a cannon mode that can stand, but this is just sort of the best it can be officially. I've gotten the little mini bots,
Oh yeah.
Stakeout and Firehouse, I think his name is. Pretty cool toys. I just got them because these are the molds for Rescue Patrol Team from Victory,
Yeah.
and I just like the Japanese Transformers. They do combine into like a really unconvincing blaster, which just looks like utter garbage. But the piece, the good one,
The big news.
yeah, the big news is big powered.
Big powered. Oh goodness, that
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah, this is I got him. He arrived a couple of weeks ago, and I fidgeted with him until I got him into his fully combined mode. He's going to be
Wow.
sitting like this until I get around to doing a video review on him. So I'm going to start doing video reviews again, and yeah, I look forward to it. This is just all repaints and heavy remolds of previous toys. We've got, I think it was Misfire and the Jump Starters and Sky Shadow. There is one difference. This Sky Shadow mold is one piece now. They've put a like an extendable, collapsible little bit of plastic that keeps him in as one toy. You can't split up the vehicle modes.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really good to finally have an official Diatlas toy because, as I always keep saying, I'm a huge fan of the Japanese G1 stuff, and yeah, it's awesome to have Diatlas and his friends in one big powered pack.
Fantastic.
So that is my newest acquisitions, Jason. How about yours, good sir?
Let me switch this camera over here. I have what we might. I've had what we might call a prime week.
Oh, here we
Um,
go.
so I managed to procure a Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime as he's seen in the Bumblebee movie. He has a really nice figure. He's quite fiddly. Like he's got a lot of little bits that move around on him,
Yeah,
and little doors and stuff that flip around. And some of this stuff doesn't just sort of doesn't stay
it
where it
doesn't
should
peg
be.
together.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't really peg together. I did post in the chat and in the discussion group earlier in the week that I was a bit disappointed that his legs only seem to flip this way. Like they could have done a bit of an ankle tilt. And it turns out they did. I looked very closely, and I'm just gonna put this here. Right, you can sort of see there's a slight bit of an ankle tilt here, but the effect of it is just that it can only really go there and there. It's like it's a two-step tilt.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I did discover that yes, he can do an ankle tilt, but he doesn't really do it very well. But still, he is still undeniably the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, and it's a design that seems to meet quite universal acclaim, and a lot of people were very happy to see this figure or see this character design on screen in a much more G1-esque look and feel. So I'm quite happy to have it on my shelf. It's the first Studio Series figure that I've purchased in quite a while. In keeping with the theme, not the Studio Series theme, but the Prime theme.
I'm after him.
I went out tonight and I got myself a Galaxy Convoy Prime.
Nice.
Mainly so that I had something to talk about on the show. So he is a retool of Ultra Magnus. He's a Siege leader class figure. So he's the inner robot is a retool of Siege Ultra Magnus as inner robot. He's got a lot of extra stuff on his back and bits that make it a bit of a different trailer, I guess. But the inner robot's still the same thing. And yes, he's got sort of like a weird push-up bra thing that forms his front windows, but still, it's cool. Look, Siege Ultra Magnus is a really nice figure. This is a nice figure as well. Just looking at it, he doesn't really have that much of that shitty battle damage on him. It seems like they've kind of given up on that after they got through sort of the couple of waves. Oh, he's got a bit on his hands.
Yeah.
It looks like he's just sort of what do I do here? It looks like he just forgot to wash his hands before dinner time. So
yeah, I've been looking forward to getting him because I'd like to have a Star Convoy. Plus, I can't replace Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, so just getting this toy would. I also like how you can have his big guns as like undersling cannons.
So that is really neat, right? Like, so I didn't realize when I'd seen this originally, I thought that people had actually connected the arms to the guns. I didn't realize that I'd only seen people pose it like that. I didn't realize that the gun was not connected to the arm, and you can in fact just move it around. So that was a bit of a surprise getting it out of the box, but then I just sort of realized that I can indeed just have him sort of have back guns. So yeah. So that arrived literally an hour before we went on air. So I haven't really done that much with him. There are two other figures that are the same figure in different versions that I'm going to show off very briefly tonight. I think I mentioned that I was getting these last time, and they arrived. We have a black hot rod.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I believe these are both eHobby reissues, but I'm not quite sure. But so there's a black hot rod, and while we're talking about eHobby hot rods, there is also the crystal.
Oh, nice.
Crystal hot rod, which is transparent and lovely, and frankly, I'm a bit scared to transform them, but I will probably do something with that.
I did see your picture of them. Are they just hot rod, or are they meant to represent different characters?
I think they're just hot rod. So they're both C78, which is hot rod's designation, but they're just there's a C and a B.
Nice. Clear and black.
Yeah.
Oh, crystal. Yeah.
Crystal, clear, whichever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the black one doesn't actually have any stickers applied. The crystal one, I think, actually does have stickers applied. That they are, of course, secondhand. The crystal one does have stickers applied, but it still looks great. So looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to setting up my room. I've moved house. I wasn't terribly happy about moving house a few weeks ago when I was on the podcast last, and I'm still not super happy about it. But I'm working on setting up that collection room in the study. So hopefully soon we'll be able to get a bit of a look around the collection room and I'll be happy to show it off because at the moment it looks like a bomb has hit it.
I look forward to seeing the revamped Jason Murray Transformers collection.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. Look, I think that's the end of the show. What have we been doing? We're going for about 50 minutes. So
yeah, it's almost
we've done
under
all
40
right.
minutes, so we did good.
Yeah. So, couple of brief notes before we finish off. The May donation drive is June. The May donation drive is almost finished. We do have some great minty new figures on offer, including a Masterpiece Inferno and the Takara Street Fighter crossover box set. Head to transformerscca.com really quickly. Do it now if you are. If you like, whenever you read this, just go over there. If you want, it's $5 for an entry, and you could win a great prize, and you support the club in what we do. On that note, thank you for listening, and if you are watching along with the live record, check us out. We are a production of Transformers Collectors Club Australia, a registered fan club in Victoria run by volunteers who donate their time and money to make the club and life in general as Transformers collectors in Australia better for everyone. Our goal is to connect the Transformers fans around the country, and we do it by engaging the collecting community. You can find out more information at transformerscca.com. If you're not already subscribed to the podcast, find us on iTunes, Pocket Casts, YouTube, Google Podcasts, and more. You can find us at transformersweekly.podbean.com. The Facebook page is called Australian Transformers Weekly, and of course, you can find us all in Transformers Collectors Club Australia on Facebook. Brad, you are on Twitch. Hit us up with what you do and how to find you.
I play PlayStation 4 games, and I also enjoy talking about Transformers and other nerdy, geeky type stuff.
It sounds like something that will be right up the alley of this listener.
Oh, yes, very, very much so. In fact, I have a special place for them on my stream and also in my heart. It's at twitch.tv.com/groovyguy0069. Just look for the big pair of legs that are twitching, and I'll see you there.
Fantastic. On that note, on that bombshell, that's all from us. Thank you. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with more Transformers news and stories and field opinions next week.
Bye-bye.